This is it. Don't get scared now. Hey there, guys. Welcome back to a brand new Flick Pick live show. And the main topic we're going to dive into in just 1 second is the brand new Mortal Kombat trailer. And boy, we're going to watch it together. I'm going to give you sort of a live reaction, then I'll give you a review and my thoughts on the trailer. And we'll dive into it a little bit. But yeah, nevertheless, thank you guys so much for joining me today for another live show. One of my favorite things to do on YouTube. And with all of that said, let me open up this delicious cold beverage. 3 ice cubes, no more, no less. And in this case, well, just no ice cubes because it comes in a can. But with all that, how are you guys doing? Thank you for joining me once again. And we will dive into the questions where I answer everything and anything right after the trailer discussion. Because I have been waiting since 1995 for a great follow-up sequel to Mortal Kombat. Now, we got Annihilation, which is a nightmare fuel, to say the least. And even as a kid who loved Mortal Kombat, I loved the video games. Annihilation, I didn't even know, like, I thought it was like a rip-off movie. Like a group of student filmmakers made it and released it. That's what I thought that movie was. And then I found out that that was the legitimate sequel to Mortal Kombat, and I was so highly disappointed. That's one of many things wrong with me that stem from my childhood years. But with all that said, I love the original Mortal Kombat from 95. I can remember the day I went to the theater to see it. I was so into the games at the time. I knew how to do like 7 fatalities, mostly from Sub-Zero and Scorpion. And it was great childhood memories. Just, you know, ripping off limbs, decapitating people, blood splatter all over the place, babalities. If you don't know what a babality is, you need to go play more Mortal Kombat. So suffice it to say, I've loved the original. I truly think it is the best video game movie ever made. Some people consider it a cheesy, guilty pleasure movie. No. It's just a fun movie. And it's one of the best video game movies ever made. Actually, it is the best video game movie ever made, easily. I'm trying to think of something that even competes, but nothing in existence does. I mean, just Scorpion, Liu Kang, we're going to talk all about Goro in just one moment. But you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to shut up. Let's watch the trailer together. I will give you my reaction. I'll give you some commentary along the way with the trailer. And by the way, Warner Brothers, if you're watching this, I'm a big supporter of you guys. Don't demonetize my video. This is fair use, I assure you. It's for criticism and review. So yeah, bear with me, guys, and let's watch this trailer here. I briefly watched it earlier, and I was like, nope, stop, John. You need to savor the flavor for a little bit later. All right, let's open up this trailer. Get this. Ooh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. Let me double check something here. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Does everything sound good? Everything sound good? Okay. All right, now it's time. Finish him. Oh, just finish me.
First learned about this 7 years ago. On a mission in Brazil to capture a wanted fugitive. When we got there, they tore through our unit in seconds. The target has superhuman abilities.
It kind of looks like Brie Larson. just ever so slightly.
It had the same marking you do, Cole.
Cole,
Correct, Mark?
a.k.a. Johnny Cage. But they're not going to tell you that yet. He's literally fighting in a cage.
Throughout history, different cultures all over the world reference a great tournament of champions. That dragon marking? I think it's an invitation.
Scorpion.
For something known.
Digging it. Like how they don't give him a mask the entire movie.
As Mortal Kombat.
These are your champions.
I'm Sonya. That's Kano.
I'm Liu Kang.
Uh,
Kung Lao. Lord Raiden. The fate of Earth is in our hands.
those Jack's arms are questionable.
No matter how many of my people we
Shokan statue. Oh, that's that's the biggest negative of this trailer. Yes.
Cannot wins. You fucking beauty.
I love it. That's a great that not a bad trailer. Okay, but let's talk about it now. I'm pleasantly surprised. It's more or less what I thought it would be. Now years ago, when I imagined a new Mortal Kombat movie in my head, it was the spectacle of it was a little bit larger than that. It was a little bit more fantastical and almost a little bit more over the top, but they are working with a limited budget. Now, no one knows exactly what the budget is for this movie, but it's modest compared to like a Marvel movie, all right? And it looks like they did what they could with it while pleasing fans. Now, I liked at the end, they tacked in a little bit of that original Mortal Kombat theme, which is a necessity. If you don't put that into the movie, I will be highly disappointed. The Mortal Kombat theme, the original score to the first movie, is probably, I would say, one of the best theme songs ever. Like ever since I was a kid, it made me want to get up and do scissor kicks around the house, and it still makes me feel that way. It's probably the most motivational song I've ever heard in my life, besides "Hearts on Fire" from Rocky IV. Now the biggest downfall of the trailer is, and I understand they have a limited budget, I get it, but some of the CG is a little bit like Goro, for example. I honestly feel like Goro from the '95 movie, who was animatronics, he was essentially made out of foam and metal. And now that he did cost $1 million in the original film, but I thought that looked somewhat better than that CG Goro we see in this trailer. Like, if you told me that CG Goro from this new Mortal Kombat movie was from like a cutscene of the video game, I would believe you. Like, it looks like that. It looks like a PS4 video game graphic. But everything else looks pretty good. I like how they're focusing on Scorpion and Sub-Zero, the two most popular characters from the franchise, or at least my two favorites. And I like how they're finally giving them the spotlight. And I sort of like how Scorpion's just like a dude, and then Sub-Zero is sort of like this assassin out to kill everyone. I like that. And plus, let's talk about the fatalities. Okay, when it comes to Mortal Kombat, you want brutality, you want blood, and you want fighting. And judging by this trailer, I would say you're getting those things. So you can't be that disappointed. I just the one shot where Sub-Zero freezes the blood splatter, uses it as a knife, and stabs with it. Thank you. Finally, thank you for doing that. I needed that in my life, and now I'm fulfilled. Now let's talk about the main character of the movie, and that's going to be Cole. Now Cole is... I'm just going to go out on a limb here. This is my theory. And I believe it to be true. And if it's not true, I think we'll probably all be disappointed because it just felt like the obvious thing to do. I believe Cole is truly Johnny Cage. Because in the film, the character of Cole is actually a cage fighter. And if you don't name the guy, like if his nickname isn't Johnny Cage by the end of the movie, like, you guys missed the mark on that. And you're missing Johnny Cage from the movie. So I'm fairly certain, I'm a gambling man, and I would be willing to bet this energy drink that is truly Johnny Cage. At least I hope it is. That would be my fantasy and my desire. But as far as everything goes, the visuals, the tone, I dig it. I think a little more saturation at times would be nice. But overall, I am happy with this trailer, and please share your thoughts about this trailer. Let me know what you guys thought about it. I would say it's like a solid 8.5 out of 10. And now the movie could be terrible, but that was a pretty good trailer, and I liked how at the end they just had like 15 fatalities back to back. The one thing I did want to mention though is Scorpion, when he says "get over here," it sort of sounds like Shredder from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the second movie. Just ever so slightly, it sounds like Shredder. Just a little bit. Just putting that out there. But yeah, please share your thoughts, guys. I'm happy with it. And Mortal Kombat has been my most anticipated movie, at least until summer, because it's just something I want to see. And even if it's sort of like an over the top good B movie, I'll be satisfied with that. I think that's all we want it to be. Just brutal and faithful to the games. I think that's all we're looking for. All right, I want to get your guys' thoughts on this, and then I will answer a ton of questions. Let's open up the chat here because I am so not prepared. All right. 10 out of 10, the Kano heart rip. Yeah, I love how Kano, ever since the 95 Mortal Kombat movie, is just like an Australian guy. I like it. But the guy playing Kano, I wish he was just slightly more buff. I don't know why. I just need a little more bicep definition for my Kano. Where's Katana? Who knows? I mean, she could be in the movie. Maybe they're not showing everything. I hope that they're not giving us everything. I hope there's a few surprises. Luke Cage doesn't seem like a comedic relief. Goro looks good to me, John. Well, I mean, he looks like a CG guy. I mean, he just looks like CG. I mean, but listen, I'm okay. Like, it looks acceptable. But keep in mind, I only saw Goro for 3 seconds in a trailer, and I didn't think it looked that great. So I can't imagine like an extended sequence with Goro. But I am looking forward to that Sub-Zero Scorpion fight scene. I just give me 20 minutes of that showdown, please. And now a taste of things to come. Yeah, I love the quotes from the original Mortal Kombat. Deadliest of enemies, Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Kano looks hilarious. Yeah, but he always has. Kano is cheesy. I love it. Yeah, I love the Jax. Yeah, Jax. I mean, it's cool that Jax is... Oh, yeah, when it comes to Jax, I love how you just see in the trailer, Sub-Zero freezes his arm and rips it off. It's like, okay, now we know how the backstory of Jax. But hey, I'm happy with it. I like how the trailer almost, to a certain extent, looks self-aware. Like, it's not trying to be something it's not. It could easily be the best video game movie ever made. The trailer is good, though. You're hating on this trailer hard. I am? I don't know. Just some critical thoughts. I don't think I'm hating on it at all. Raiden is ethnic now. Yeah, Raiden was played by the Highlander, and then in the second movie he was played by the guy from the Warriors. I forget his name, but then he got a really shitty haircut, which was so off-putting to me. And the way Raiden shows up in Mortal Kombat Annihilation is the biggest cringe scene I've ever seen. Like, he does a weird flip. He has like a shitty haircut, and he goes and he just has this weird smile. Go watch it on YouTube if you get bored and lonely sometime. Let's keep going here. Waited decades for another decent MK movie. You and me both, and now we're finally getting it. And I think this movie will be really successful. I really do. I think this will be the movie that HBO Max really needs, and I think it'll be probably one of the better movies, or at least one of the more entertaining, enjoyable movies of 2021. Because I think it's the formula is simple, and as long as you cover those bullet points, fans will be happy, and I think it'll be successful. So give it to me now. I'm ready to consume this movie. I just hope they don't have the character Stryker in the movie. Worst character ever. If you like Snyder CG and not this, you're insane. I never said I like Snyder CG, nor will I ever say that. So you don't put words in my mouth, mister. Sub-Zero breaking Jack's arms was too cool from Rob K. I agree. That was glorious. I love how they just put that into the trailer. They're like, here you go. Rich the Savior, I'm ready for fatalities. I am too. And you know what else I'm ready for? I'm ready to answer all of your questions. So let's just dive into it, guys. And that was my quick reaction, my quick thoughts on the Mortal Kombat trailer. I'm fulfilled. I truly am. And we can talk about it a little bit later throughout the live show. And by the way, guys, in this live show, I'm going to be introducing a segment. I've actually done it once, but it's a segment called Five Flicks. It's where I talk about 5 movies I recently watched. I just give you guys some quick thoughts on those movies. Maybe like new thoughts I've had after watching the same movie 25 times. And then you guys can share what new movies you guys have watched over the last couple of weeks. And I actually shared this on Twitter the other day because I like to know what everyone's watching. I like us to all share what we're watching and maybe, give other people some ideas. All right, you guys are killing it with the questions already. James Wan is a producer of this, absolutely. And I think the fact that James Wan being a producer of this, I think that's what gave it the quality that it has, and probably the reason that it got greenlit and finally made because of James Wan. So thank you, James Wan. Katana's fan is in the background for 1 second. Okay, yeah. You might be right. I don't know. I'd have to double check that. General thoughts on Liu Kang as a character. I thought Liu Kang in the original Mortal Kombat movie was phenomenal. I thought he was perfectly cast. What's the actor's name? Is it Robert Cho or something? But anyway, I thought he looked the part. The dude was vascular. He was muscular. He definitely looked like Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat, even buffer. And the cool thing about that, the actual actor from the 95 movie, was he actually was a martial artist, which was great. But Liu Kang in this new movie, I don't know anything about the actor. But I mean, Liu Kang's cool. Liu Kang got to tell his entire story in the 95 movie. Now it's time for Cole, aka Johnny Cage, just putting that out there, to tell his story. So yeah, I can't wait for it. All right, guys, you guys already have a ton of questions. I'm going to dive into your questions after I organize what's happening right now on this screen. You guys know I don't ever know what I'm doing. I just click buttons and hope for the best. All right. Where are we at here? Okay. Claudia Rogajan. All the test screenings say the fights are awesome. And you know what? As long as the fights are great, I can deal with a subpar story. As long as the fights tie the movie together. And this is like one movie where you can just say, yeah, as long as the fights are good. The stories just needs to sort of be there to connect those things. That's good to hear. Who were the test screeners for this movie? JVKE, I think Mortal Kombat trailer was pretty awesome. I think the movie will be decent. I think the action scenes will be amazing, but it has spotty CGI, and the story will be weird and underwritten. I think the critics will be 50-50, but the fans will love it. I think the critics will probably, at least the intelligent ones, will be like, okay, it's based on a video game. It's based on a fighting video game, right? I think sometimes a story can take the back burner as long as everything else is up to par. So yeah, I don't care what the critics think about this. I mean, the critics hated the first Mortal Kombat movie, and most of them still do. I love it. So, but I liked the hokiness of the first one. I liked the bright, vivid colors. I like how they actually go to Outworld. This one looks a little bit subdued, I guess you could say. I mean, as subdued as a movie can look with a 4-legged creature warrior named Goro in it, but nevertheless, compared to the first movie, it looks a little bit more subtle. Dark Moonlight Entertainment. Hey, John. I'm the only one who thinks the Snyder Cut is going to be in 4:3 aspect ratio is dumb. It's weird a Justice League movie won't fill my TV. Yeah, I've been wanting to talk about the Justice League trailer, the new one that just came out, and let's talk about it now. Listen, when it comes to speculation of this movie, I think I'm a little bit burnt out on it. Like, let's watch it. Let's see how good it is. Let's watch this extended version with all these extra scenes and all these new things that they're tacking into the movie. And it looks like some of the scenes they're tacking in are just like cool ideas that don't necessarily play into the movie itself. For example, when you see the trailer, it's actually, most of this trailer was from the Nightmare extended sequence that we're going to see in this film from Batman, where he gets to see the Joker, and Zack Snyder was able to tack in some really cool things in that movie to sort of redeem the Justice League. But all these Nightmare sequences don't necessarily need to play into the majority or the rest of the movie. I will say Jared Leto's Joker looked a lot better than he ever has. He didn't have those shitty tattoos, and now he no longer is damaged because this new interpretation of the Joker, or this new version with more makeup on his face and long hair, Yeah, that's what the Joker should have looked like all along in this universe. I like the way Jared Leto sounded in this. I think he actually sounded like the Joker a little bit. But as far as the aspect ratio goes, it's a little off-putting. Now, what's happening is Zack Snyder had this really cool idea to make the aspect ratio essentially true IMAX aspect ratio, which is more or less like a box. And I get it. Like, if everyone was going to go see this movie in a true IMAX screen at an IMAX theater, and you could watch this representation with the IMAX aspect ratio, that makes sense. That's cool. Okay, I get it. But how many people are going to go to an actual IMAX theater to see the new Justice League Snyder Cut? So now everyone's going to watch the movie with black bars on the side of their TV. And I wish he would have taken a few notes from Nolan. Now, Nolan has shot many sequences and many films in IMAX. Not the entire film, but large segments of the film. And at least he has the decency to crop the IMAX to fill your TV screen rather than leave black bars on each side of it. So, yeah, it's cool that it's going to be IMAX aspect ratio, but to you or me at home, it's just going to look like a square box. It's like watching a video on Instagram. so I don't know. An interesting decision, to say the least. I'm not really a big fan of it, though. Night King 01. Dude, the guy can't be Johnny Cage. Where is the charisma? Also, was there more color in this? Why can't they bring back Kerry Takawa as Shang Tsung? I butchered that name. Yeah, he was made for playing Shang Tsung in the first movie. You will die. I love it. Yeah, I a little more saturation would have been nice. But the look of the new Shang Tsung looks pretty good to me. I mean, they all visually look good. I like the way the characters look so far. As far as Johnny Cage not having the charisma, well, we've only seen him in a trailer, and Johnny Cage does have a lot of charisma. He's sort of a self-entitled douchebag. That's, more or less Johnny Cage from at least the movie. And maybe that personality trait will come out a little bit in this, but I truly think that is Johnny Cage. K996, hey John, have you seen the trailer for Old by M. Night Shyamalan? If so, what did you think about it? I did see the trailer, definitely like a teaser trailer at best, where age and time span comes into play, and something weird and magical, mystical is happening on this beach where, I don't know, I almost have a feeling like this beach will be part of the Bermuda Triangle, and getting lost in this vortex, time is skewed. I just made that up off the top of my head, but I could see M. Night Shyamalan making that the twist to the movie. If not, that sounds like a cool movie to me. Then again, it kind of reminds me of Lost ever so slightly. As long as everyone's not dead by the end of the movie, I'll be happy. Yeah, it looks cool. I'm looking forward to it. Rich the Savior. Texas resident, and my power was out for 3 days. Then I got my apartment to find it flooded from a busted pipe. Life is not treating me well right now, John. Hug me. Wrap those biceps around me. I'll wrap them around your head and squeeze, and I'll pop your head like a giant zit. Fatality. Flawless victory. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I actually have friends and family in Texas right now, and the same story happened to them. Texas just was not made for the snow. Like an inch of snow just shut Texas down and destroyed everything. Meanwhile, I live in Columbus, Ohio. There's 15 inches of snow outside of my house. It's a blizzard every day. It's negative 20 out. Meanwhile, it's just another Thursday. It's baffling to me. The other thing is, with a little bit of snow, power was out. After 3 days, all the grocery stores ran out of food. People had no water, no electricity. Gas stations ran out of fuel. Isn't that sort of scary how temperamental we are as a society? Like, it doesn't take much, does it? People are so reliant these days. That's what I'm saying, guys. Everyone needs to go in their backyard right now, dig a 10-foot bunker, pour it with reinforced concrete, buy a whole bunch of cans of sardines and beans, and stock up on guns and ammo. Don't say I didn't tell you anything, all right? But yeah, man, sorry to hear that. I hope it gets better for you. By the way, I think next week in Texas in some places it's going to be back to like 70 degrees. So, Hector Ferrero, thanks for the super chat. No question, but thanks, Hector. Claudio Rogajan. I like Hiroko I can't say his name. Sanada playing Scorpion. And by the way, when I go to review this movie, I'm just gonna butcher the names of every actor. I probably won't even attempt to say their names. He's a great actor, and he was the best part of Rush Hour 3 as the villain. Can't believe he's 60 years old. Yeah, that is crazy. I thought Scorpion in this sort of looked like the actor from Old Boy, ever so slightly, for a second. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 60 years old. I like it though, man. I like it. I like what they're doing with Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Moises Marquez. Moises Marquez. What are the things you look for when moving? I love LA, but definitely would go somewhere more quiet and smaller. What are the things I look for when moving? You know what I look for? I look for a medium-sized city. A city that has one of everything. Like, I want it to have all the luxuries, right? But I don't want to live in the city. I want to live outside of the city in the suburbs, like 10 minutes outside of that city. That way, I can enjoy my life. It's peaceful, it's relaxing, it's not noisy, the traffic is good. And then when I want to go into the city and go to these places that exist, I just drive 15 minutes and I'm there. So when it comes to like moving, I always look for convenience. Because I hate people. Michael Parton. Do you think they could be starting a Mortal Kombat cinematic universe, and could this director make more rated R video game adaptations? I don't know. Let's just take it one movie at a time. If Mortal Kombat's successful, as far as making it a universe, I don't know. Making a sequel, definitely. But a universe, I don't know. Like a spin-off movie of Mortal Kombat, I don't know if it necessitates that just yet. But I could see a sequel happening very soon. Another thing I could see, and many years ago on the Machinima YouTube channel, they did make a sort of a mini series of Mortal Kombat, and that's where all the hype originated from. But I could see like Mortal Kombat being a great, huge budget mini series on HBO Max. Like make it a 10-part episode, or at least like season 1, 8 episodes or whatever, each one an hour long. Throw a lot of money into it, and I could see that being like a great series on HBO Max. If they want to continue it or make a sequel, whatever you want to do. I mean, if at this point, if Cobra Kai can have a series, why can't Mortal Kombat have a series? That's my motto. Carter Lovejoy. Thoughts on Sia's new film, Music? It's basically Simple Jack the musical. To put it, and as a person with mild autism, I find it horrid and offensive. What is it called? Sia's new film called Music? I don't know anything about that, man. It sounds odd and interesting, and it's something Simple Jack the musical. You sort of sold me on that aspect of it. I hope it's so bad it's entertaining at least. But I don't think that's the intention. James, hey John, I watched Terminator 2 today and really enjoyed it. I think it's the perfect movie to this day, and is it worth it to watch Terminator 3? Thanks. You've never seen Terminator 3. Let me save you some time and effort. Just don't watch it. All you need to know is Terminator 1 and 2. That's all that needs to exist in your head, and you'll be happy. That's all you need. Yeah, don't watch it. I will say the best part of Terminator 3 is like the last 4 minutes, which could have been an interesting concept in itself. But no, everything else was like terrible villain, bad CG, over the top, corny jokes that takes you out of the movie every 4 seconds. Nick Stahl is no John Connor to me. So, Upshot Music TV. John, you've been my favorite YouTuber since 2014. Well, thanks, man. I love your content. Here's a question. Better stoner comedy, Dazed and Confused, or The Big Lebowski? Well, we might be talking about the Dazed and Confused a little bit later during the segment 5 Flicks, but I think I love both. I truly do. The Big Lebowski, both movies are more than just stoner flicks to me, but I think Dazed and Confused encompasses that a little bit more. I think The Big Lebowski has a little more to it, but both movies do. That's a tough one. You can flip a coin and pick either on that. I almost love both movies equally. Well, hey man, there's a beverage here. But we will talk about Dazed and Confused very shortly. Night King 01. They got Kerry Takawa for Mortal Kombat 11 DLC, and he was awesome playing old Shang Tsung. They could bring him back for when he is the old version. Sure, I mean, Shang Tsung shapeshifts, so he could be anyone and anything in the movie. I'd be okay with that. That would be awesome, actually, if they did that. Parker LaRose. Do you struggle with motivation? In your old videos, you seem to sleep all day and watch TV. How did you make something of yourself? I would like to know. Yeah, but I sleep all day, and some days I do watch TV, but other nights I just skip sleep and do things. I don't know. I got lucky. I started making videos. People watched them. And the rest is history, man. And then on the back burner to all of that, though, I've always tried to make my own opportunities. So, YouTube for many years paid nothing. So I reached out and got sponsorships and didn't rely on YouTube. And I just emailed people and marketed myself to the best of my ability. So, but, some days I do just sleep all day and watch movies. Do I struggle with motivation? Absolutely. I think a lot of people do. But other days I'm super motivated, and other days I'm just like, I want to lay in the fetal position. Alejandro Ortiz. John, I wanted to see a new live for the background at work. I was even watching old lives, and boom, you go live right now. You're clutch. Well, thanks for that cool term, man. Clutch. I like it. Is that what the kids are using these days? Well, yeah, man. I'm glad I can fulfill your needs for the most mild form of entertainment. Now here I am. So enjoy it, man. Thank you. And don't work too hard. Gino Rodriguez. Thanks for your dark humor, John. My favorite quote is, people just don't understand the concept of vehicles, and the people behind them that are having a bad day can end them. I said that, huh? Yeah, it's true. Isn't it like, have you ever met someone and you're just like, you're not the brightest bulb. And then yet they get behind the wheel of a 2,000-pound missile that can go anywhere it wants to go. If you just turn the wheel 2 inches to the right or to the left, you could have a really bad day. So yeah, it's people driving scare me. Rick LP. Vin Diesel, why? Acting skills are weak. Thoughts? Vin Diesel, he's done a few good performances. He played a mafia character. What was the movie called? Guilty or something. Vin Diesel in the right role can act. Like the best, I guess the best the best acting he ever did was Iron Giant. But he hams it up. He is what he is. He fits a certain part, and that's what Vin Diesel can do. Am I a huge fan of Vin Diesel? Not since probably 2002. Jalen Martin. I'm so sorry. I always get it wrong. Jalen Martin. Have you ever seen 2008 film College? College? 2008? No, I don't. No, I don't think I have. Maybe. I don't recall though. No, I don't think I have. I thought you were talking about the 2006 movie Accepted starring Justin Long for a second, but Michael Parton, do you think Ryan Gosling will make a sexy Wolfman? Absolutely. Ryan Gosling would make a sexy Wolfman, creature from the Black Lagoon, whatever he wants to be. I think he's a good choice for Wolfman. Like, if you would have cast him or Jake Gyllenhaal for Wolfman, I would have been, okay, I get it. It's almost like a dude with a really bad case of being bipolar, but it just so happens he also turns really hairy on a full moon night. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Cam M, please watch Cecil Hotel series. Also, you're great. Cecil Hotel series? Okay. Is it good? What's it about? When it comes to series, the newest series I watched was on Netflix. I finally got around to watching the Night Stalker series about Richard Ramirez from the 1980s, who was a serial killer. And I like things like that. Maybe a little bit too much, but it was truly fascinating. And I just loved the vibe of it. I liked seeing the 1980s LA backdrop, the incompetent LA detectives who couldn't solve a case. Just dark, eerie stuff. So seedy. I loved it, every second of it. So if you haven't watched the Night Stalker series on Netflix, definitely check it out. Rich the Savior. I'm laying in bed, pondering the ruins of my life, and my brain spat out, "It's not a tumor. Arnold is my comfort celeb, clearly. So, what is it? What is a tumor, John? It's a cancerous growth? Why are we talking about this?" Yeah, okay. You know, speaking of Kindergarten Cop, you know the little kid in the movie? What's his name? What's his name? Nicholas or whatever his name is. I always remember the scene where he's explaining his tinfoil lasers to Arnold. He's like, "These are my lasers. They keep the bad people away." I love it. But you know what that is? You got to get out of there, man. It's not a tumor. You got to get out of bed and, I don't know, go for a brisk walk through the neighborhood. The next one comes from "Oh Hi Mark, I love Cobra Kai. The writers got it right. My only gripe is the brawl scenes with the kids. They never get tired and flip and twirl when they fall." Absolutely, no one truly gets hurt. I mean, you actually can crack your spine in half in Cobra Kai, and then you can walk 3 weeks later with a little bit of karate training. It's fun. It's nonsensical. It's almost like a live action cartoon at times. And you got to be a little bit hokey and cheesy with it. You do. It's one of those series, if it took itself too serious, it would fail miserably. And I'm glad it does not. I love me some Cobra Kai. But I will say, yeah, some of the fight sequences, it's just like, yeah, and they just fall on the ground. It's okay, though. In the context of the series, it's believable. I will say in season 3, though, the big finale fight sequence at the end of this one, I was a little bit let down. I thought it was the weakest one of all 3 seasons, but still really enjoyed it. Lucas Bernowskowitz, how shocked were you at the Shutter Island twist? Well, you could actually take the ending to Shutter Island a little bit ambiguously. It's a little bit ambiguous if you want. It's like, is it a lobotomy? Is he imagining things? Is this one big sort of psychiatric treatment? And now, to be fair with you, I have not watched Shutter Island in almost a decade, but I remember the ending. You could have taken it as ambiguous, but I really enjoyed the atmosphere of Shutter Island. It's sort of one of the underrated modern day Scorsese movies no one really talks about. Have it on 4K back there, actually. JP Flicks, any recommendations for whey protein brands? I stopped using whey protein a while ago because it always made me feel bloated. Like, I always felt bloated when I had whey protein. So whatever tastes good to you, I would say. You don't need to spend $80 on a tub of whey protein. You really don't. Don't waste that much money. Go to Walmart, buy a decent brand, look at the reviews, and if it tastes good to you, if it doesn't taste like cardboard apple stems or something, go for it, man. I mean, as long as the it has the protein amount in there that you need, and I would recommend eating food though, like just eat high protein foods like chicken. But yeah, I haven't made a protein shake in a long time. I forget the brand I used to use, actually. I used to buy the expensive shit just because I thought it'd make me stronger. I'm trying to remember what I used to use. I can't remember. It's been so long. The Nicodug Express. Well, thanks for the super chat, man. Much appreciated. Very generous of you. Hey, man, I was wondering, if you've seen the movie The Iceman with Michael Shannon. I've seen that movie. Yes, I have seen that. I know it's based on a true mafia hitman. My screenwriting teacher actually wrote it and told us a funny story of getting drunk with Chris Evans. Keep up these sexy streams. Well, thanks, man. I'll keep up the sexy streams as long as you keep watching. I wish I knew the story. Can you tweet me the story or something? I gotta know what the story was with Chris Evans. That's awesome though. That was your teacher. That's really cool. Rich the Savior. Thoughts on it follows. I loved it personally. Interesting movie. Not one of my favorite horror films. The concept can be construed if like you can assume it's something like a sort of a metaphor for something. But yeah, it was okay. I didn't love It Follows as much as most people did. I thought it was very well made, competently made, and I liked the look of the movie. Jordan Brooks. Have you seen Defending Jacob? Is it good? I have not seen Defending Jacob, so I don't know. I did just get a new screener link to the new Pinocchio movie, which looks creepy as shit. So I need to watch that. Also, I need to watch Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage. And it seems like no one really loves it. Like, they're like, oh, it's crazy and over the top Nick Cage stuff. But, like, I wish it was a little bit more than that. I'm sort of tired of this trend of, like, it's so bad it's good movies. Like, no. Like, how about just it's so good it's good? You know what I mean? Like, just make a really good movie if you're going to spend money on it. So, but I need to check out both movies. Amareya M. Hey, how's it going? By the way, Amareya is also a moderator, so thank you. Thoughts on the Cruella trailer? I felt like I was watching a baby DC Universe trailer, laugh aloud. I have not watched the Cruella trailer. Aren't they like trying to make her like the Joker of the Disney universe or something? Yeah, I haven't watched it. I really don't have any interest in a Cruella de Vil movie. It's like my same amount of interest I had in Maleficent. It's like I don't want to see Angelina Jolie. Like I don't need this movie. Did anyone want to see a Cruella de Vil movie? I don't know one person, but yeah, I'll watch the trailer at some point, maybe after this stream. Z White. I got fired today for smoking weed in the break room. What? You were in the break room. That's what it's for, isn't it? When my boss asked why I did it, I simply said, I'm vengeance, and then I walked out. Well, so did he technically fire you, or did you just walk out? Let me give you some life advice. Never quit a job. Never quit a job. Just stop going. Don't quit. Just stop going. See what happens. Upshot Music TV. Favorite film with one primary setting. I mean, probably Clerks, because I just love the location of that movie. It's like two of my favorite things combined: a gas station and a video rental store. Do you really need anything more in life? No, you do not. So maybe Clerks. Trying to think of something else. I mean, Speed takes place primarily on a bus, but I wouldn't say that's my favorite setting. Oh, Castaway. I love the movie Castaway. There's something so relaxing about watching Tom Hanks all alone on this island with pure isolation. Like, I love that. That's a relaxing movie to me. Like the sounds of the ocean and Tom Hanks, like, talking to a volleyball. It's truly like, I watched that and I'm just like, I would love to go to that island. I will stay there for 3 years as long as I have a lot of videotapes to tie things together, a volleyball, and an ice skate to knock my cavity tooth out. So probably Castaway or Clerks. Jordan. Hey. Or I'm sorry. Have you seen John Woo's Hard Boiled? Phenomenal action movie. I don't think I remember watching scenes from it because someone was telling me about it, and I watched some of the scenes and I was like, ooh, that's good stuff. Very reminiscent to like Face Off. Definitely he brought the style from Hard Boiled to like Face Off. I have not seen the full movie though, but it's one of those on the bucket list to watch. Carter Lovejoy. The film has been receiving backlash due to its poor portrayal of autism, and Sia collaborating with Autism Speaks, its PETA for Autism, horrible organization. A quick Google search can explain. Interesting. Yeah, so they're bastardizing it in a way, I guess you could say. Okay. It's sort of like it's sort of like what John Travolta did with a character that has like a slight form of autism in the movie The Fanatic. It's like that. It's that representation. I get what you're saying. Interesting. Sorry to hear that, man. Cam M. Richard Ramirez stayed at the Cecil Hotel in L.A. Oh, okay, yeah, the Cecil. Okay, yes, I did watch. I didn't watch that specific documentary about the Cecil Hotel in L.A., but I know I've watched other short series on it or other documentaries about all the crazy stuff that happened in this hotel. It's like a hotel where drug dealers and criminals go to stay. So now I know what you're talking about. Yes, I know of the hotel. I just did not watch the documentary. Mahfouz Ahmad, you seen Rebel Without a Cause? Good film on HBO. I remember watching that film in college because I was going through a phase where I was watching all these classic cinema films. And to tell you I remember a lot about it would be a lie. Like, I remember watching Citizen Kane, that, like 10 other movies, a few really boring John Wayne Western movies. So yeah, I don't recall a lot about it, but that's cool that it's on HBO, man. We are talking about the James Dean movie, right? Okay. Ghost Whisperer of the Night. Hey, John. How are you, man? My question is, how does Van Helsing look on 4K, or should I get it on Blu-ray? I do not own Van Helsing on 4K. I didn't know it was on 4K, or did I? Did I just simply forget? Either way, I will upgrade it immediately, because there would be nothing better in life than watching that shitty CG that was probably rendered in 720p brought to 4K resolution to see how truly shitty it really is. But with all that said, Van Helsing is my true guilty pleasure movie of all time. I highly recommend watching it. Probably savor that flavor for around October, because it does deal with monsters in Van Helsing and Frankenstein and vampires and Kate Beckinsale doing the worst Transylvanian accent I've ever heard in my life. Van Helsing. But I love the movie nevertheless. So terrible. And to think, Van Helsing was originally supposed to set this entire universe of movies, and it just never happened. It was like supposed to be the next big franchise. I wish it was, though. Upshot Music TV. Better trailer, better thriller, Prisoners, or Panic Room? I was never in love with the movie Panic Room from Fincher. I was never in love with that movie. So I would say Prisoners. I thought Prisoners was way more thrilling. Like, I was on the edge of my seat the entire movie, because when you watch the film Prisoners, and I do have a review of the movie, so I guess you guys could watch that if you want more thoughts, and I have a great skit opening to my Prisoners movie review. So for that alone, go watch it if you want. But yeah, the thing about Prisoners was I always put myself in the position of Hugh Jackman's character. And that's where you question yourself, like, would you do what he's doing? And I would say, yeah, I would. Right or wrong, I probably would do it. But man, that movie was just so dark and seedy. I loved that. I need to watch that again at some point. Rich the Savior. Will we ever see a Halo or Call of Duty film? Halo, probably not. I mean, the closest we got was District 9, obviously, if you didn't know, that was the failed Halo movie, and they're like, well, what do we do with all this money and props? Let's do District 9. So they slapped that together and made District 9. Yeah, I think Halo's time has passed. As far as a Call of Duty movie, I think the biggest detriment, and the reason that they don't do a Call of Duty movie, is they're afraid that it will damage the Call of Duty franchise of games. Because sometimes if you put out a video game movie and it's a terrible video game movie, it sort of kind of like sours the actual game franchise and almost makes people look at it in a negative light. Like they almost play off of each other in a weird way. Even if the game franchise might be great, the movie sucks, they still sort of factor into each other And Call of Duty right now is so successful where they make millions of dollars a day, where they force people to buy downloadable stupid content and guns and camo and things to upgrade your gameplay to make you better at the game because you have to pay for it, which is pay to play is awful. So I think that's why they're not making like a Call of Duty movie just yet. Never say never though, but if you want a Call of Duty movie, go watch Black Hawk Down. Go watch any Michael Bay movie that focuses on the military. I mean, it's pretty damn close to like a Call of Duty-esque style movie. Go watch 13 Hours. Just put Call of Duty on top of that. That could be a Call of Duty movie. James Dozier, is Total Recall the last action hero worth seeing? Yeah, dude, go watch Total Recall all day. That's great early 90s, man. When that movie came out, it was like the pinnacle of special effects. Now we look at it and we go, oh, that's really hokey, but it's still really fun to look at the practical effects, especially the one where the robotic head opens up with Arnold's face in it. I love it. Screw you, and then he puts the one drill up his nose. Oh, I love Total Recall. Yeah, Paul Verhoeven, man, go watch Total Recall. Now, Last Action Hero, I would say if you're an Arnold fan, watch the movie. I personally like Last Action Hero. Do I think it's a good movie? It's got a lot of issues, but if you love movies in general, it's definitely it's like a film made for film fans, and it almost was ahead of its time, because it breaks that fourth wall many times throughout the movie. And there's one great scene that takes place in a blockbuster, which that scene alone is worth watching the movie for. But yeah, watch both of them. Skateboarding versus movies. If you were a wrestler's entrance song and finisher. Entrance song and finisher, like, do you want me to pick one that already exists, or do I have to pick like a new one? I would say my entrance song would be Buck Ditch by Rammstein. And then I would have a lot of strobe lights. And my finisher would be the Flickbuster, which is also coincidentally the name of my podcast. You can listen to exclusively on Patreon and for YouTube members. Which, by the way, I just put up a brand new episode today. So if you're a YouTube member or a Patreon supporter and you're supporting that tier, go check it out, man. Give it a listen. Good stuff. So yeah, the Flickbuster would be my finishing move. Yeah. Billy Gold. Fictionally speaking, if you could see any two actors at any point in film history make a film together, who would you pick? Me, I would say John Wayne and Clint Eastwood. Hey there, Pilgrim. Get off my lawn. Yeah, okay, good. That'd be a good Western movie. How about James Dean and James Franco playing brothers? Let's see. Another great one would be let me think here. I was gonna say Nicolas Cage and somebody from like the 1950s. I need to put some thought into this. Jimmy Stewart. I don't know. Probably, maybe James Dean and Nicolas Cage. I think that'd be interesting. All right. Obed Erzaga. The house that the Night Stalker grew up in is 10 minutes from my house. Another thing, I went back to the gym this week. Gross, but it feels good to be back. Well, it feels good to be gross as well. Yeah, man, just sanitize. Be careful what you lay on. Don't let anyone sneeze in your mouth. And get some gains, man. That's interesting. That is the house that you grew up in is down the street. And people live in that. Isn't that weird? Like, just what an eerie, seedy feeling that would be. So I take it you live in Texas. Wasn't he from... Why do I know? He's from El Paso, Texas, the Night Stalker. Why do I know that? That's weird. Okay. I think I'm right. Skateboarding versus movies. You've seen Color Out of Space, Nick Cage at his loudest. No, that is one Nick Cage movie I never saw, and I knew there was a lot of hype going... But here's the weird thing about every Nick Cage movie. Like, there's a lot of hype going into it. The movie comes out, No one ever talks about it again. Like, I remember just a few months ago, there was all this hype for Willy's Wonderland. The movie comes out, no one's talking about it. Like, what happened? So, Color Out of Space is one Nick Cage movie I still do want to see. What's better, Color Out of Space or Willy's Wonderland? If you've seen both movies, let me know. Someone said Harrison Ford and Humphrey Bogart. Yeah, I was gonna say Humphrey Bogart, but I wasn't gonna say Harrison Ford. All right, the next one comes from Mike Mula. Hey, John, have you seen Charm City Kings? I have not seen Charm City Kings, but I did go to revisit Three Kings last night on HBO Max starring George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg, and I don't really like that movie. I really don't. Only facts. Did you ever see Tenet? Yes, I saw Tenet. I talked about it, I think probably every live stream for the last 4 months. And I have it back there on 4K Blu-ray. It was not Tenet was a disappointment to me. Visually fun to look at. No complaints there. But to listen to, to try to comprehend what they're saying with the dialogue, I think they failed on that aspect. So yeah, it felt a little bit convoluted for the sake of being convoluted. I wish Nolan would go back to basics. I really do. And speaking of Nolan, we're going to talk about another Nolan film in a little bit. As soon as I get through some more questions here. Jake Martin, thoughts on the 2010 film Valentine's Day? I hated it. I hated that movie. I hated New Year's Day. I hated What to Expect When Expecting. It's like Easter Day movie. Here's the St. Patrick's Day movie. Let's just shit out all these holiday movies because we know they're going to be romantic comedies. There's nothing else coming out at the time, and girlfriends are going to drag their boyfriends to go see these bland movies just pooped out. So yeah, I think I saw it, but I don't recall. And if I did see it, I think I immediately deleted it from my memory. Rich the Savior, John, do a live Cruella reaction right now. I don't want to watch it alone. I'm scared. Hold us while we watch. Also, I've been watching you since 2013. Rip Tiny Todd. He'll live on in my nightmares. Yeah, he lives on in everyone's nightmares. And Tiny Todd will kill me one day. I know it in my sleep. Do you guys want a live reaction to the Cruella de Vil trailer? Is that what you guys want from me? Is that what if you want that, let me know. I can do it. Let me know. I'll let you guys comment, and I can maybe do it now, or I can wait a little bit later. I don't want to watch it, to be honest with you. Let me know if you guys want to see that, man. I might do it just for you, Rich. Undercover Gamer. If you could meet one actor, who would it be and why? Everyone's saying yes? You guys, okay. You wanted it? Now I'm going to give it to you. What was the question? Oh, if I could meet one actor? Arnold is the one actor I truly want to meet. He's like a larger than life person, because the thing is, most actors, I'm like, okay, I like them as actors, but as people, I don't feel like they're that fascinating. But Arnold, he's so inspiring, and he's done so many things, and just, I know personally he's motivated me to go to the gym, work out, and things like that. And I think he's the best bodybuilder of all time. So, probably Arnold. And I was so angry at myself because, oddly enough, I live in Columbus, and that's where they have the yearly Arnold Classic, where Arnold shows up a few days, and then they do like a lot of bodybuilding stuff, whatever. And the sucky thing about 2021 was, well, we're not going to have it this year because of this shitty thing called a pandemic. But I remember I went in 2014. And I went specifically just to see Arnold in person. Maybe touch him. You know what I mean? Just smell his hair. I don't know. And then the shitty thing was, I was there all day. And I was like, okay, whatever, let's leave. And then I guess 10 minutes later, he showed up. I was so angry at myself. So one day. PC Master Race. Hey, John, have you ever considered buying a VR headset? I can sit in virtual IMAX theater and watch whatever I want. Does it look good? It's truly like watching an IMAX movie, or is it the virtual experience where it looks like you're sitting in a movie theater? I don't want that. I just want to watch a movie and nothing else. Yeah, I would be into the VR headset thing. Not opposed to it. I just haven't got around to picking one up, and I don't know if I can justify it just yet, but I'm not opposed to it. I definitely like to check it out and experience it. Okay, guys, I'm about 11 minutes behind on your glorious, magical, mystical questions. I'm going to answer all of them, but real quick, because I promised Rich I would do it, let's watch this trailer for the new Cruella de Vil movie, which I don't know why we have it, but it exists, and Disney likes money. And okay, do you guys want to watch the trailer with me? Here's a live reaction to Disney's Cruella, starring Emma Stone. Okay, let me bring you guys in here with me, and let's watch this trailer. Okay, here it goes.
From the very beginning, I realized I saw the world differently than everyone else. That didn't sit well with some people. But I wasn't for everyone. I guess they were always scared that I'd be a psycho.
Very Jokerish, yeah.
A new day brings new opportunities. And I was ready to make a statement. How does the saying go?
She,
Woman,
she's,
we roll.
oh, she's a woman. Hear her roar. Okay, she's magic now. She's a witch.
I'm just getting started, though. The thing is, I was born brilliant. Bad. And a little bit mad. I'm Cruella.
No, you're Lady Joker. What are you doing? What? If you would have just replaced a few things in that, you could have called that like the Harley Quinn movie. Like, I mean, you have to be a psychopath that want to kill a whole bunch of puppies to make a code. I wonder if they'll truly get to that point throughout the movie. Yeah, that did look like someone borrowed some ideas from Joker. Even some of the font, the bold font, the scribbly like font that shows up, the static font that shows up throughout the trailer, even was the same thing the Joker trailer did. Okay, yeah, that's a movie, I guess, but no one wanted it to happen. Like they couldn't just make a 101 Dalmatians movie. They couldn't do that. They had to make a Cruella movie because Maleficent, was such a box office hit. Both movies' sequels were critically praised. What'd you guys think about that? Let me know. I didn't. I like Emma Stone, but why is Cruella de Vil like a magical witch all of a sudden? When did she get those powers? She just used to be some rich old hag that wanted to kill puppies. How did we get to this point where she's transforming in a ball? Oh God, Hollywood, what are you doing right now? All right, well there you go. I talked about the trailer. I want to know what you guys think about it. Someone says, I just hope it's entertaining. It's Disney. No, they won't do it. Her life isn't a tragedy. It's a comedy. Indeed it is. That trailer was a comedy. Amaray M. Benny, it's just because of Emma Stone. Lady Joker is damaged. Imposter Joker. This is going to be so good. I'm sold. Yeah, as somebody said they want to see it. I don't know if they're joking or not. They are out of ideas. Okay, well that's Cruella. I watched the trailer. I felt nothing. All right, let's keep going here. Okay. Oh hi Mark. Ever see Glory Days with Ben Affleck and Sam Rockwell. Glory Days? No, I have not. I've seen a lot of Ben Affleck movies, but I have not seen Glory Days. When did that come out? Just JDD24. Hey, John, do you find The Martian rewatchable? Hang on. Okay, there's another movie. I swear it's called the John Cusack Martian. At first I was like, is he talking about the John Cusack movie Martian Child? I was like, I hope not, because that is not rewatchable. I've rewatched The Martian a few times, and see, here's why I like The Martian. Now, I don't love it. Not one of my favorite movies. But here's what I like about it. I like when he's isolated on Mars and he's growing potatoes and eating ketchup. I love movies about a character stuck in a place. We just talked about that earlier. Like, that's why I love Castaway so much. Something about that's relaxing to me, and I get the same vibe from The Martian. But it's like the beginning of the movie, the end of the movie I don't love, and I hate the subplot of the rescuing crew coming to save him. I'm just like, that kind of like fell a little bit flat for me. But yeah, I could rewatch it occasionally, sure. Brett Cook. Hey, John. Who gives a better performance in Hook? Robin Williams as Peter Pan or Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook? I would say Dustin Hoffman stole every scene, every moment in that movie. I really would. I love me some Robin Williams, but Dustin Hoffman was the true incarnation of Hook. I want a party. I want a cookie. Me. I. I love it. Yeah, I think Dustin Hoffman was the superior casting choice, I guess, in that. And if you had to make me pick between the two, but Hook is an all-time favorite of mine. So, Night King 01. I thought Over the Top was your guilty pleasure. Over the Top, I would say, is actually somewhat of like a competent film, but Van Helsing is beyond that. It's the most. Van Helsing is the most overproduced Hollywood garbage movie that I enjoy. Like, Over the Top has like real themes in it that relate to my life. Turning into a werewolf and running around Transylvania with Kate Beckinsale doesn't relate to my life at all. But oddly enough, Over the Top sort of does. Ghost Whisperer of the Night. Hey, John. So supposedly Emily Blunt may return if they make a third Sicario movie. Not gonna lie, I thought she was the weakest link in the first film. Really? Why do you think she was the weakest link? I didn't think that at all. I thought she was what she needed to be. Are you saying her performance, or are you saying her character? Now, if it comes to her character, if they actually did make another movie, another installment with her character, this would give her character a good arc to sort of redeem herself. Because the thing about the first Sicario movie, and a lot of people don't pick up on it, was she was supposed to be, like, her character was supposed to be used. Like, she wasn't supposed to be the best at everything. They didn't choose her because she was the best at something. They chose her and used her to get this operation done. A lot of people miss that. Like, they think she was supposed to be like the badass, character of the movie that saves the day, and that was never the intention. So yeah, I could see like them making another movie, and maybe her character is a little bit more wise to the corruption of the CIA, and that could be intriguing. But I love Sicario. I love that movie so much. The sequel's good, but it was missing that quality that the director gave the first movie. Denis Villeneuve. I always mispronounce his last name. Let's keep going. Night King 01. Oh, I already answered that. Jason Nelson. Favorite Jerry Bruckheimer film, Gone in 60 Seconds? ? Favorite Jerry Bruckheimer produced film? I like Gone in 60 Seconds. I mean, Jerry Bruckheimer also produced Pirates of the Caribbean, so I'd probably say the first Pirates of the Caribbean, but he also produced The Rock as well. So maybe The Rock, then Pirates of the Caribbean. But he produced so many of those over-the-top action movies in the 90s. But I would say maybe The Rock. I'm fairly certain Jerry Bruckheimer produced that. If he didn't, I'll say Pirates of the Caribbean. Did he also produce Con Air? I could be wrong. Upshot Music TV. Let me guess, you don't like Panic Room because of Jared Leto. No, that's not the reason I don't dislike Panic Room. It's not one of my favorite Fincher films. Well, since you like Prisoners, go watch High and Low with Kurosawa, master of suspense and dialogue. High and Low. Okay, I'll look into it, man. Sounds interesting. No, I like Panic Room. I like it. I think it's a good movie. It's just when it comes to like Fincher films, it's just not one of my favorites. Is it weird I wanted to see the bad guys win? Is it like that's how I kind of felt when I was watching Panic Room. Scott Donahoe, are you excited for Robert Pattinson as Batman? Yes, I am. I am really excited. I have more faith in him as an actor over the last couple of years, and the trailer for the Batman looked good. I don't have any complaints with it. I just hope it's a good movie that just goes for it. Show us why you made another Batman movie. Do something different. Like, just blow us away. That's what I want to see. So, and speaking of like Fincher films, it definitely has that Fincher vibe, but with Batman in it. And that's what I want to see. Like, go dark or don't do it at all. James Doshier. What about True Lies from James Cameron? Yes. Yeah. If you have the choice between Total Recall, Last Action Hero, and True Lies, my pick would be True Lies all day long. That is, I love the awareness of how over the top it is, and it makes fun of like the action movie genre, sort of, kind of. Yeah, go watch True Lies. It's on Amazon Prime right now if you want to check it out. But I remember seeing True Lies in the theater and loving it as a kid. I will say the weakest part of True Lies for me was always like the third act of the movie. Like, I just feel like there's superior action scenes leading up throughout the entire movie in the first and second acts. And the third act, it's good and crazy things happen, but I just like everything building up to it. For example, there's a chase scene in True Lies where Arnold's riding a horse and the other guy's on a crotch rocket. Do I need to say anything else in this? Well, I will say this. I'll add one more thing here. The scene with Jamie Lee Curtis and Arnold in the hotel room, that made me a man the day I watched it. I watched that rated R film, and my father took me to it at a young age. I loved it. I love that scene. Okay, let's keep going. I'm not a pervert. I just wanted a Turbo Man doll. Okay. Robert Cobb, John Wick, or Falling Down? Honestly, I would say Falling Down. I mean, I love me some Keanu Reeves. I love action movies, and I think the first John Wick is by far my favorite, and I like it. I like the simplicity of it, and hey, they killed his dog, man. You don't need any other. That's it. That's the character motivation. That's all you need. I'm like, fucking kill him. Go, man. Kill. But Falling Down is, I think, the superior film. And I relate to Falling Down a little too much. Let's keep going. Night King 01. Your face when her dress burned off. Laugh out loud. Yeah, man. I was not expecting Cruella DeVille to be a sorcerer in the new movie. Like, they just had to give her magical powers. Why? Because fuck. Woodrow Wilson, formerly known as Justin E. Richards. Oh, that is a name. I feel like I knew a Woodrow Wilson at one point. Hey, John, can you talk more about The Car Wash? Yes. This is what you guys come here. Sometimes in my live shows, we go off the rails. And now we're on the rails of The Car Wash. We don't always talk about movies. I talk about more than movies here. This is a visceral life experience where I share my most in-depth thoughts with you. And now let's talk about The Car Wash. I love going to The Car Wash. There's nothing better than on a cold, salty winter day, you go to The Car Wash, and I have the monthly pass for The Car Wash. Okay, I can get unlimited car washes. If I want 25 car washes in one day, I have that power. I have that ability. I know, I'm pretty cool. But I love going. I just love pulling up to the car wash. Now, there's always a line of people, which I hate. But once you enter into the car wash, it's like entering into another dimension, a black hole of soap and water and colorful suds that just cleanse your vehicle of all the filth and sins that it's committed. And as you go through this wash, you watch everything happening around you. It's like you're in Willy Wonka in the fantasy wonderland of the chocolate factory. I just want little Oompa Loompas in there scrubbing my tires, but I don't have that just yet. But if I open up a car wash, I would have that. Just putting that out there. Yeah, I love going to the car wash. It's truly great. It's if you can't go to Disney World, go to the local car wash. It's the next best thing, I promise. Let's keep going, guys. All right. Oh, God. I'm sorry we just talked about the car wash for so long. All right, Rich the Savior. Didn't want to see that, but I wanted to see you suffer. Oh, well, I did. That trailer hurt me inside deeply. Like, we went from the Mortal Kombat trailer to the Cruella de Vil trailer. Jason Nelson. Hey, John. What is your favorite film with cold weather? Alive. Alive is a good movie, and I'll tell you why. It's based on a true story about a plane crash on the side of a mountain, a snowy mountain, where they have to resort to cannibalism to stay alive. And with all that said, I want to eat some beef jerky now. Yeah, Alive is a good movie. Cold Weather, The Gray with Liam Neeson. I saw that once. I remember that being kind of a cool, no pun intended, winter movie-esque. God, there's so many other like cold movies. I know I'm probably missing. Oh, The Thing is a good one. The Thing. There you go. John Carpenter movie, man. You got to put that in there if you're talking about snow in the winter and movies. Jason Nelson. Hey, John. Your favorite film. Oh, really? I'm stupid. I already answered that. Max Dukenbauer. I'm excited for Cruella. Well, I'm glad you are, Max. I don't think anyone else is, or at least I'm not. But hey, man, it's all subjective. Charles Taff. Are you a fan of Led Zeppelin? Best band ever. Yeah, I like Led Zeppelin. Good classic rock. I'm not like a diehard fan, but yeah, good songs, man. More of a fan of like when it goes Led Zeppelin's pre-80s. They go back into the 60s, don't they? But I like Metallica, you know. KK Kinner, I actually did meet Arnold at the convention in 2019. He was really nice guy and shook my hand. I'm so jealous of that. That is awesome. Don't ever put hand sanitizer on that hand. Scott Dine, how do I get bigger but keep definition? It's all about body fat and vascularity, and a lot of that's genetics. If you put on body fat, you know, it's basically you need to cut your carbs, work out, get lean, gain muscle mass with as little body fat as possible. So keep down the body fat and the carbs, and you'll look pretty lean. A lot of people, what you do, because it's hard to get large and stay lean at the same time, a lot of people just start working out crazy. You eat a whole bunch of carbs, and then you cut, where you cut down all that body fat, and you get lean and shredded. I always found that counterproductive. It's like, okay, so I'm going to get big, bulky, and then gain a whole bunch of fat, and then I'm going to work really hard to get rid of the fat while getting rid of some of the muscle. I always thought just staying lean and getting big at the same time it made the most logical sense. That's more or less what I attempted to do, but a lot of it, genetics plays into. In Holmes 25, John, have you tried the new rain flavor? It's white gummy bear. I like it a lot. It's very good. Oh my God, I might just end this live stream right now to go to the gas station driving 98 miles per hour to buy that shit right now. No, I have not. Why did I not know about this? Why did you guys not tell me? I'm gonna go look for that tonight. Yeah, right now I'm drinking Orange Dreamsicle. It's really good. It's the Rain Dream Orange Dreamsicle. Really good stuff. I like it. Okay, the next one here. And by the way, you guys are killing it with the questions. Thank you guys so much for watching and asking questions. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Jordan, thoughts on Freddy versus Jason? Is it the best versus movie? I mean, a lot of them are just bad. I mean, we still have Godzilla versus Kong. We'll see. But Freddy versus Jason I was entertained by it when I watched it in theaters for the first time. Not a good movie at all. The tone is so off from what it should have been. They casted the one chick from Destiny's Child in the movie. They butchered some of the stuff. Like some of the fight scenes almost look like Mortal Kombat fight sequences. But I remember seeing it in theaters and sort of being entertained by it. But yeah, not that great of a movie. Claudia Rogajan, did you see the rumor that Robert Pattinson got Zoe Kravitz pregnant on the set of Batman after they were caught doing it in the Batmobile? That sounds like made up bullshit. I think you just made that up off the top of your head. But if it's true, awesome. Maybe they'll make a Little Robin. Upshot to Music TV. Better dialogue, Coen Brothers or Tarantino? That is a great question, man. I love questions where you give me two options and I almost can't pick. I mean, when it comes to the Coen Brothers, you have Fargo, you have The Big Lebowski, but Tarantino dialogue, it's almost unmatched. And I love the thing about Tarantino is he's unapologetic and he just goes for it. He's not afraid to offend anyone. And he always gets a pass. It almost depends on the movie too. Like if you put Big Lebowski up against like a certain Tarantino movie, it might go to the Big Lebowski. I hate you for that question, man. Like I'm just thinking about the Big Lebowski and the dialogue of the dude and Walter, but then I watch Tarantino and I'm just like, some of the lines given by Samuel Jackson, like I think truly one of the most underrated screenplays and movies by Tarantino was The Hateful Eight. If you just, because that's such a heavy dialogue driven film, because that's another movie that takes place in one location and also a one location movie, but also a winter movie. There you go. There's another one of my favorites that relate to earlier questions. But the dialogue in Hateful Eight, it blows me away. Like every time I watch the movie, I pick up on something else new. And I love the scene with Samuel Jackson telling the colonel about his son and what he had to do. If you guys know what I'm talking about, I think you might agree with me. Okay, Senior Love Daddy. That's a great name. I have returned. Your toes, your booty hole will be mine. Okay, man. Take it easy. It's only 9:30. All right, James Doshier. Have you seen Eraser from 1996? Yeah, I have. Not one of the best Arnold movies, sort of a forgettable movie, but it's an okay action movie. I never loved it, but it's well made, I guess. Marvin Valek. Hey, Johnny Flicks. I've been waiting for this movie my whole life, and the trailer made me so happy, and I need to find a way to see this in the cinema. Are you talking about Cruella or Mortal Kombat? I'm going to safely assume you're talking about Mortal Kombat. And yes, I agree. I'm sure, well, it will be at the cinema. I mean, it just depends on if cinemas are open near you. I mean, they showed Wonder Woman in cinemas, but Mortal Kombat definitely looks like it's worth going to the cinema, but I will probably just watch it on HBO Max in my underwear at home. Carter Lovejoy. I have a theory that you're Arnold's long lost son. I could be. You know, Arnold gets a little feisty. I mean, especially with the housemaid, and he's so that would be nice. I would be very rich instantly. That would explain my amazing bicep definition. So thank you, Father. But it's not true. Winners at the Prom Queen. Houston resident here, been without power for 3 days and finally got it back. Can you do a Christopher Walken impression as an energy company official saying, "We're working hard on getting your power restored ASAP"? Is that what you want from me? Is that what I am to you? Yeah, I can do that. What am I saying? You know, Wasawi, your power's out, but we're working hard getting your power restored ASAP. Remind me to take it on, what's her name, later. There you go. Age of the Keyboard Warrior. Is the gym a spot you talk to girls? Also, have you seen Metallica live? They are amazing live. I have not. That's one band I've always, like, I'm not a huge fan of concerts, but if there's one band I have always wanted to see live, it was probably Metallica or Rammstein because of the cool pyrotechnics. As far as the gym goes for picking up chicks, it depends, but anymore, it's like anytime you talk to anyone in the gym, you're going to be a creeper. So it's maybe resort to Tinder or Instagram DMs. Maybe go that route. Mike Moolah. John, have you seen the movie White Men Can't Jump? Absolutely. That is a great film. And it's true. They can't. Yeah, I loved White Men Can't Jump with Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. I've always really enjoyed that. Yeah, that's a great early 90s comedy movie. Weren't they going to remake that? They announced a possible remake of that movie like 4 years ago, and it never happened. Winners of the Prom Queen. Do you meditate? No, but I like to sleep long, extensive hours occasionally. But the weird thing is when I sleep, like sometimes I go into these deep dreams where I wake up and I just force myself to go back to sleep so I can continue this dream. So I don't really meditate, but I like to sleep. I heard the mental health benefits are amazing. Yes, probably. Yeah, I don't meditate. I just like to veg out and consume content sometimes though. All right. And once again, guys, thank you guys so much for watching right now. We got 421 of you glorious people in there. You guys are great. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening, looking at my stupid face for a few hours as I just answer questions and talk about movies. And once again, I will be doing a segment a little bit later in this live show once I finally catch up on these questions, and I'm almost caught up, where I talk about 5 flicks, and I want you guys to share your 5 flicks that you have watched. So we're getting there. Hang on. Winners at the prom. Oh, we already answered that. Woodrow Wilson. Thoughts on M, 1931. It's an old German film. It's a combination of Zodiac and Ocean's 11 about a child killer that's haunted by a gang of robbers. I have heard of M. I've never seen the film. Sounds great. The concept sounds great. That sounds really intriguing. But I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. There's a lot of classic films I need to. It's just hard to find the time to watch like a classic film. Like some of them do test your patience, but you have to watch them so you can call yourself a connoisseur of film. But yeah, the premise alone sounds phenomenal. It sounds like a Fincher film or something. Claudia Rogajan. I did not make that up. It's true. Look it up. Oh, I thought you were doing a Tommy Wiseau quote. Really? It's true? I don't believe you, but I still will look it up. I doubt. See, the one thing I wasn't buying was the Batmobile as the place of conception. Now, if you said the Batcave, I would have believed you. It's not true. It is not. Oh, hi, Mark. Winners of the Prom Queen. Thoughts on the movie? Thoughts on the movies? Act of Valor. I don't think I've seen Act of Valor. And 1517 Train to Paris. Did not see that either. What they've put real life military into film roles, although the gesture is noble, I think it's misguided and just leads to failure. Yeah, I do recall both those movies, and I do remember Act of Valor. So that's kind of like I guess in a way, it's sort of like a live action Call of Duty movie, which someone mentioned earlier. Yeah, it's cool that they put like real military trained people in there, but these are movies and you need actors. Now, if you were going to have like an ensemble crew of like 10 guys in a squadron of soldiers, and 3 of them were actually soldiers and they were sort of like, the background crew members, I get it. Cool. Do that all day, but hire actors for the main roles. So, Rich the Savior. John, you ever thought about streaming on Twitch? I have thought about streaming on Twitch. Would you guys like to see me stream on Twitch? The thing is, I just feel like YouTube is where the majority of my viewers are. And I feel like if I went to Twitch, like, it's another hoop to jump through for a lot of people who don't have Twitch. And then I don't know what the benefit necessarily would be, the big difference of streaming from YouTube to Twitch. Now, if you're talking about doing what I'm doing now on Twitch, it wouldn't make a ton of sense, but I am getting back into playing games, and I play Call of Duty Warzone and multiplayer quite often. I do pretty good sometimes. The rest of the time, I'm just punching myself in the face because I'm so fucking pissed off. But I have thought about streaming some Call of Duty, and, you know, if I were to stream gameplay on Twitch, it wouldn't be because, oh, look, I'm the best video game player ever. No, it would just be me making some quippy one-liners, talking shit on Twitch, playing games at the same time. So that could be a possibility. But let me know if you guys would like to see something like that on Twitch. Let me know. I'm not opposed to doing it. I love live streaming, and if it gives me another outlet to live stream on, I will probably do it. Yeah, someone said Twitch is for gamers. Not really anymore. People that talk about whatever are on Twitch. Twitch now is the smart thing that Twitch started to do is they made it about more than just gaming. They stepped back and said, you know what, we can make this a platform for live streaming in general, which would actually open it up much larger. So, but yeah, if I went to Twitch, I'd probably do gaming. I wouldn't do this on Twitch. I want to see John ruin his IKEA table. I already ruined that fucking... I'm going to make a video about my new desk setup, but I will show you guys this table and that there's a hole in my desk from punching it with my controller. Yeah, I get pretty upset. Now, keep in mind, this desk is essentially like hollowed out cardboard, so it's not hard to make a hole in this, but yeah, I get pretty pissed off when I play video games, not going to lie. I'm not proud of it. It just happens. Just JDD24, Lord of War has a great opening credit sequence. Absolutely. I've said that for years. It shows the process of making a bullet from start to actually being used. And I think the opening credits to Lord of War are some of the best opening credits ever made. And I love that movie. I think that's a very underrated film. Rich the Savior. Ever see the movie Eraser? Arnold Stinsky cheese. Is Eraser isn't that from the early 90s, mid 90s Eraser? Or am I thinking of Eraserhead? Maybe I'm thinking of Eraserhead or something like that. I don't know if I have. Winners at the Prom Queen. What two actors that have never worked together that you would like that would have amazing chemistry? Two actors have never worked together that would have amazing chemistry. That's, I don't know. Charlize Theron and Brad Pitt. I don't. Charlize Theron and Nicolas Cage. Give me that. I think that would be good. Zach, who is the best Baldwin brother? Most definitely Alec Baldwin. I think he was the most talented. Definitely wasn't Steven. We'll say that. James Doshier, thoughts on Masters of the Universe? Oh, Dolph Lundgren, what are you doing? The thing I hate most about that movie was first of all, they shit that movie out. But the thing I hated most about it was Skeletor's prosthetic face. It looked like a Halloween mask that you would buy at the dollar store. Just so awful. Night King of One. Any movies that made you shed a man tear? I have a few. So I would say when it comes to movies that have made me cry as a tough guy in the theater, and I can admit this, and I can only admit it to all of you guys watching right now, so don't tell anyone, but every time I watch the ending to Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and I watch that cybernetic organism, who's much more than that. He's a protector, almost a father figure to young John Connor. Promise me you're not going to kill anyone. Why? When they slowly lower him down to self-destruct in the melting steel, because he has one chip left in his brain, and he puts his thumb up, and it slowly sinks down, and John Connor looks at his protector, the only father figure he's ever known in his entire life. It hits me every time, man. It reminds me of that time that my father said he was going to buy cigarettes at the gas station and he never returned. It reminds me of that every time I watch it. Only part of that's true, but that hits me every time. Another movie that always chokes me up, and it's an animated film by Pixar. It's a little movie called Toy Story 3. And there's multiple scenes in Toy Story 3 that make me feel something. And it's, first of all, it's the scene where they're all in the incinerator and they think they're meeting their demise. And that gets dark. I think that's the most ballsy thing Pixar has ever done. The next scene in that film is the one last play session Andy has with his toys with the little girl. And the music, the slow motion, and the scene where he's driving down the street and you have all the toys sitting on the front steps of the house. And he says, "So long, partner." Oh, just talking about it almost made me cry. John, you're a man. Suck it up. You're tough. Testosterone, red meat, beef jerky, weights. Okay. That scene always hits me. Always. Because it makes you question your own life. And it's like you're moving on and going to the next chapter. And it's just, so many emotions hit with that scene. So, yeah, those are a few movie scenes that always make me cry. And I can admit it. So, yeah, let me know let me know a few scenes that make you cry. I am genuinely curious. Let me know, please. Let's keep going before I cry. Let's go to the next one here. Winners after prom queen. Amber's been kidnapped. Pick 4 non-superpowered humans, movie characters, to help you rescue her. Superpowered human. Well, Batman's not superpowered, so I'd pick Batman. I'd pick Nicolas Cage, just the person. Oh, you said characters. I'm sorry. Probably. I mean, you got to go with Ethan Hunt. You'd go with Batman. You'd go with who's 2 other good characters I could pick? John Wick, maybe. And then you could pick Jason Bourne. I think that'd be a good selection. Rich the Savior. You could do 1 stream a week on Twitch to test it out. I stream on Twitch personally, so I'm a fan of the platform. Just want some more flick in my life. I'll give you some flick in your life. Yeah, man, I'll look into it. I'll figure out how to stream. The thing is, if I stream on Twitch, I might have to invest in a second monitor, because I know you need the main monitor to game on, and then you need the second monitor for the chat. So I might have to look into that. I'm poor right now, so I will look into it though. I'm not. It's a possibility. I will definitely look into it. In-game made you cry. The Green Mile. Up. Okay. The intro to Up. Untouchables. Logan always made you cry. Yeah, okay. Schindler's List. Well, yeah, that'll do it. Titanic made you shed a tear. Yeah, those are good picks. Okay, those are some good picks. I dig it. Let's all get sad together. All right. In Homes 25. John, how do people like David O. Russell's films, despite the great actors that are involved in his flicks? I can't even make it into 5 minutes of his movies. Everyone just seems so costume up and overacting and fake. I just don't get it. Yeah, David O. Russell, some of his films, didn't he? What was that new movie? Not newer, but it was so overrated. The one with Christian Bale. Was it Hustle? Was it Hustle and Flow? What the fuck was that? Remind me of this movie, someone. Yeah, I get what you're saying, though. It does feel like very Hollywoodized. Like, you can almost see, like, the prosthetics on people. I get what you're saying there. It's like, sometimes they feel a little bit disingenuous. David O. Russell directed The Fighter, right? And I always remember Christian Bale in that movie. He plays a crackhead. And he just feels like he's playing a crackhead, like it's just like an impersonation of what a crackhead would do. And I love Christian Bale, but it was almost comedic. American Hustle. Yeah, that's it. What an overrated film. I did not like that movie. I felt nothing. It's like, go watch Boogie Nights. Seth Sterner. Hey man, big fan from back in the day. Have you seen Willy's Wonderland? Not yet. Mentioned it earlier, but not yet. I do want to see it. The trailer looks cool. I'm hoping, like, I get it. It's like one of those sort of so bad it's good movies. But I was hoping for a little bit more. Nicolas Cage meets Five Nights at Freddy's. Yes, please. Keep it up, you beautiful bastard. Well, thanks, man. And I will watch Willy's Wonderland soon. It's definitely on my list of movies to watch right now. Yeah, more Nicolas Cage, please. All right, someone said Braveheart's emotional. I do agree. I think Patriot is emotional as well. Okay, let's dive into the questions here, and then I want to jump into the segment in just one moment. Where are we? Winners at the Prom Queen. Thanks for the answer to the question, but I meant to say is two actors that haven't worked together but would be great bromance. Think Swayze, Keanu chemistry. Okay, so two actors that haven't worked together. Yes, I get what you're saying. I'd like to see Jake Gyllenhaal and Leonardo DiCaprio. I would like to see them work together. I think they could do something good. Woodrow Wilson. Can you say take an interest in science in a walk-in voice? Hey, take an interest in science. I've got the fever. Oh God, I've got the prescription. More cowbell in a Mark Wahlberg voice. Hey, more cowbell. Don't make me do any more impressions. It's too late for that. I can't do them. Once it gets almost to 10 o'clock, the impressions aren't going to get any better. I assure you. Now, Morgan Freeman impressions, on the other hand, only get better. I got a prescription for more cowbell. Night King 01. Maybe the ending to Return of the King almost shed a man tear. Had to disguise it like it was Sour Patch dust in my eye. I watched the re-release. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what you do. If you cry in the theater, you say you got Sour Patch Kid sugar in your eye. It works every time, I assure you. Oh, hi, Mark. Seen Winner Takes It All video, Hager versus Stallone. Seen Winner Takes It All video? Yeah, the music video? Yes, I love it. Jimmy Hagar? Oh, Hagar versus Stallone. Yeah, you have Hagar, who's like a skinny rock star with little arms, and he goes to like arm wrestle Stallone in the music video, and it's just the cringiest shit ever, but I love it. It's a great song. Michael Timey, the ending of Point Break, I cried awesome bromance. Indeed it was, man. I'm not gonna paddle to New Zealand, man. Come on. You know I can't handle a cage. Oh, I love the ending to Point Break. It gets me every time too. And I would have let him go surf the one last wave, man. Night King 01. Scratch that. I did shed a few tears of Return of the King. Fair enough. Yeah. When he gives him that very mysterious look when he walks into the bedroom. We all cried. Winners at the Prom Queen. Can you say Morgan Freeman voice? The Mars Land Rover has finally landed. The Mars Land Rover has finally landed. There you go. All right, guys. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to do the segment 5 Flicks, where I talk about 5 movies I recently watched, and you guys share yours. So right now, share your last 5 movies that you've watched. You have a few minutes to do it. And meanwhile, I'll get all the questions in that you guys want me to answer. And I'm going to take a quick 1-2 minute break. I'll come back. I'm going to do the 5 Flicks segment, because I want to talk about some of these movies I just recently watched, and I'll answer as many questions as I possibly can, and then we'll call it a night. So I'll be back in just a few seconds, and as a wise man once said, I'll be back. here we go. Real quick, I got one from Watchtower Studios. Is the 750 T2 4K worth it for normal Blu-ray? Okay, you confused me there. It's like you combine two. So, okay, do not ever buy the 4K remastered version of T2. Do not buy it. It's terrible. It looks bad. The color grading is atrocious. It doesn't even feel or look like the same movie that I love. Just buy the normal Blu-ray of T2. It looks superior than the 4K, unfortunately. The next one, Gino Rodriguez. Hey, John, which 4K movie should I buy with Batman Returns, Lord of War, or Hereditary? I would probably buy... I don't think I've watched the 4K of Lord of War. I own it. I will say the 4K of Batman Returns, the color grading, they made it look very blue. Like they added more blue into the movie. It looks good, but it looks a little more blue than it ever did. So I would probably, if I love Lord of War, if you can buy it cheap, or Batman Returns. Hereditary, I do not own on 4K, and I've never seen it on 4K. So, and I probably wouldn't rewatch it anytime soon. So with all that said, let's dive into the segment. 5 flicks. Here we go. Enjoy this intro. All right, this is the part of the live stream where I talk about 5 flicks I watched. The name pretty much says it all. And what I want you guys to do right now is let me know down below in the comments. Let me know the last 5 movies you watched. But here are the last 5 movies I watched, and I just want to talk about them. The first one is The Patriot. Now, this is on 4K. It's still in its plastic because I watched it on Netflix. And I've always loved this movie. I've watched the Blu-ray countless times. I watched it on streaming probably once every 2 months. And I don't know why I haven't watched the 4K yet, but this is truly one of my favorite films of all time. And I can almost safely say this is probably overall the best Roland Emmerich movie ever made. Now, I think Independence Day is like his most enjoyable blockbuster popcorn movie. But as far as like a real movie goes, The Patriot, I love this. Now, historically speaking, it's very inaccurate to say the least. But the performances by Heath Ledger and Mel Gibson in this film, I love the time period of the late 1700s, the Revolutionary War. I love movies like that. I just love epic films that take place in an older time period. Something about that just completely immerses me. And the production quality of this movie is top notch. And some of the action sequences are still great. If you've never seen this, I highly recommend it. There's a scene in here where Mel Gibson loses his shit and takes out an entire platoon of redcoats with a tomahawk. That scene alone still gets me every time. It's so brutal. So yeah, The Patriot. Like I said, I watch this movie once every few months, and what the reason I watched it again recently is I was building some IKEA furniture and I needed some background noise just to kind of soothe me because I hate building furniture, and The Patriot did that. And once again, a great performance by Heath Ledger. The next one is, hey, Dougie, I'm leaving this whole town in my rearview mirror. The Town. I love heist movies. In another life, I would have been a criminal. I maybe sort of was in this. But anyway, I love heist movies. I like Ben Affleck. I was blown away by this movie. This is the movie that really showed me that Ben Affleck can act and direct. And when I rewatched this just recently, and I've seen this movie probably 50 times. I remember working in a movie theater at the time this came out, and I got a special sneak peek at the movie like 3 weeks or maybe a week before it finally came out to the public. And I was like, yes, finally another good heist movie. But yeah, I like Jeremy Renner in this movie a lot, and I just like the Boston accents. It just adds to the flavor of the movie. Man, good stuff. And please watch The Town if you've never seen it, or if you're in the mood for a good heist flick. All right, the next one. We briefly talked about this earlier, but it's Dazed and Confused. Now, I think this would probably be the go-to stoner flick of all time. Now, someone mentioned The Big Lebowski earlier. Fair point, but I think this overall fits the tone almost a little bit better. And by the way, this is the Criterion release. Now, I watched this on Amazon Prime, I believe. the other night, and it's just such a cool, fun hangout movie that never gets old. Directed by Richard Linklater, and this is my favorite film he's ever directed easily. It just, you watch this, and it had a small budget, but it did everything it could with its budget. It's like, this is how you make a smaller, moderate budgeted film. Dazed and Confused, and it still holds up to this day. It truly it truly shows how the 70s were. And I've talked to many people who were in high school during the 70s, and they say this movie's very accurate. Could you imagine if we still lived in a society where senior kids paddled younger classmen coming into high school with a paddle, and that was socially acceptable? You can't even put out a political tweet nowadays without getting canceled. Could you imagine beating kids with a paddle, and that's the cool thing to do in the 70s? I don't know. Great movie. And Matthew McConaughey. All right. And the next one is Master and Commander. This is truly, I can almost safely say Master and Commander is truly one of the most underrated films in all of cinema history. Now, I talked about this extensively on the newest episode of the podcast, which, by the way, go give that a listen if you have not. But Master and Commander is a true epic on the sea. This is everything I love in a movie. It's an older time period from the early 1800s. It's epic. It has a $150 million budget, and it was made in 2003. Russell Crowe, it's almost like he's the gladiator of the open sea in this movie. And I just love that it takes place on a ship, and it's such an interesting lifestyle. Like, imagine being a crew member on a ship. Like, I would have had scurvy within 10 minutes and been swabbing the poop deck. But nevertheless, I can't recommend this movie enough. This might be in my top 20 movies of all time. Master and Commander. If you've never seen it, go watch this movie now. It is a true epic, and it's so well made. Now, my biggest complaint with this movie is the transfer that it's had to Blu-ray, and just the overall quality of the quality of the movie itself. Masterfully made and filmed, but it just has never looked great on DVD, Blu-ray, or streaming. There's just something, it just looks a little bit muddy, and I wish they would go back in and clean it up and release this on 4K and truly restore it. And this film was snubbed when it came out because one of the new Lord of the Rings movies came out the same time, and it stole every single Academy Award that this was also nominated for. But I can't recommend this enough to you guys if you've never seen it. And last but certainly not least, I could not find it. I own the Blu-ray back there, but I didn't watch the Blu-ray, and I only had a few minutes before the live stream went up. And the last movie I want to talk about that I watched was The Prestige. Now, probably one of my favorite Nolan films, and the thing I like most about The Prestige, and the thing I wish Nolan would do again, is stop making these super high concept $200 million movies and just go back to something a little more simple and streamlined, like The Prestige. And I love it. I love that. And once again, another time period movie. Clearly, you can tell there's a theme here, because the majority of these movies all take place in the 70s or the 18 or 1700s. But as far as The Prestige goes, I like the backbone of the movie being about magicians. I think that's fascinating. But you know, upon rewatch of The Prestige, I found it really jarring. Like, it's so realistic until you get to that final third act of the movie where it gets a little bit fantastical. And I've never, something about that's always felt a little bit off to me. I almost wish there was something else there rather than that fantastical element. I was hoping it would stay in the realm of reality. But anyway, guys, those are the 5 flicks I watch. I'll read some of yours now. I can't wait to see what you guys have been watching. And really, honestly, and what I do is I just rewatch the same 50 movies over and over again, because a lot of new movies are just, I don't want to be disappointed. And I typically am. So I just rewatch movies I love. Let's go to the Moon Tower. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Maneri, Judas the Black Messiah, Promising Young Woman, Man Cave, One Night in Miami, Winter Soldier, is Glory. Oh, okay. Here's another one. Let's see the last 5 that BM watched. Tenet, Jojo Rabbit, Mulan, Framing Britney Spears. I have not seen that. Wonder Woman 84. Okay, some good picks. Six Underground, Transformers. I don't know. Which one? Okay. Batman Ultimate Edition, Wonder Woman 84. Someone was sort of in a Michael Bay mood, I can tell. Eraser, Air Force One, Forrest Gump, The Fugitive, Mask of Zero, all on Laserdisc. You got Laserdisc, man? That's crazy. Let's go to the Moon Tower. Love Dazed and Confused. Yeah, I do too. Highly rewatchable. All right, guys. Let's get back into your questions. Did I miss any here? Okay, guys. Right now, please don't ask any more questions. I'm going to try to answer as many as I can now. And then, so I don't want to miss any questions. So no more questions. Stop the questions now. I'll try to answer as many as I can. And here we go. Somewhere. Okay. Night King 01. One of the last 5 films I watched was Spartacus. You know, I think Gladiator was inspired by this film in many ways. Also, Return of the King in IMAX was pristine. Awesome, man. Of course, I mean, Gladiator might have borrowed something from Spartacus, but I mean, if you make a movie about gladiators, I mean, they're going to sort of be similar. I mean, especially if you're trying to make it somewhat accurate, historically speaking. Jason Nelson, The Raid, Patriots Day, Karate Kid, Karate Kid 2 and 6 Underground. Okay. 6 Underground, no thank you. I hated that movie. The Raid, I feel like watching The Raid again. The Mortal Kombat trailer sort of made me want to rewatch The Raid. Patriots Day, okay. Karate Kid, good stuff, man. Ghost Whisperer of the Night. 5 movies I've watched are Sicario, Pan's Labyrinth, Anna Leon, you confused me here. Leon the Professional and Saul. Okay. I was confused. I was like, Anna Leon the Professional Saul. I was like, what movie is that? That's a good mix. That's a good variety, man. I feel like I do like watching Sicario right now and The Raid. Those are 2 movies I truly like. Talking about them makes me want to watch them again. Maybe I will. Or maybe I'll go eat some old Chick-fil-A that's in my refrigerator after this live stream. Okay, guys, let me go to the questions here. War games. Oh, Odin, yes. War games. You liked War Games a lot. I know you bought a t-shirt or something relating to it. And by the way, Odin, thanks for joining me, man. My co-host on my podcast. And we talked about War Games in the podcast as well. Jason Nelson, Tesla's Place? Yeah, Tesla's Place. The whole thing relating to Tesla I thought was interesting until you realize that he has the ability to clone people. And I'm just like, well, that feels odd. Like, I could have just made the movie about hatred and magic. I mean, it didn't have to actually be about the fantastical element of magic. The Raid is awesome. I agree. Here's one. Your name here. Speaking of Russell Crowe, have you seen Unhinged? I heard it is just following him around in traffic. Yeah, I never got around to seeing Unhinged. I had a sneak preview screener to watch it, and I didn't feel like watching it on my computer, and I was just like, I don't want to watch Russell Crowe drive around all day. I was like, I'll go watch Gladiator. Yeah, I heard it was decent, but I never watched it. Rob K. Last 5 movies: A Field in England, Thor Ragnarok, John Wick, Robots, Rogue One. Interesting mix. Thor Ragnarok is highly rewatchable to me. I honestly think I've seen Thor Ragnarok more than any other Marvel film. Like, every time I come across it and I just don't know what to watch, but I want to eat something and look at something at the same time, I click Thor Ragnarok on Disney Plus, and I'm just like, this will do. And once I start watching it, I don't stop. Did you ever hear Bam Margera got fired from Jackass 4? I did hear that. That is really unfortunate, and that kind of I just like it's not. It doesn't feel like Jackass unless Bam's there because he was truly like what inspired Jackass. I mean, he was the guy that made the CKY videos back in the early 2000s, which sort of defined my teenage years. In a good or bad way. I mean, more or less, me and my friends pushed each other around in shopping carts into bushes. But yeah, that sucks. I wish he'd get his stuff together and get back into the movie. John, what are the most dumb fun movies that you still like that everyone should watch as a film fan? I mean, I've named them countless times. I've Over the Top, Van Helsing. I mean, those are just a few. But over the top movies, I don't know. We talked about Last Action Hero earlier. I think if you're a film fan, especially if you like the action genre, you got to go watch or Last Action Hero. Did FlickPick skip my Streamlab? I don't think I did. I hope I didn't. D-Train, but I'll double check, man. I don't want to skip any questions. D-Train, I'm going to go back. Oh, here it is. Here we go. I got your question right here, man. Just finished watching Chinatown for the first time. All I'm going to say is I hated the ending. What do you think? Chinatown, I need to watch that. I almost bought the Steelbook, oddly enough, a while ago. I don't recall the ending to it, so I don't want to comment on it. God, I don't remember Chinatown. I don't remember the ending to it. I probably haven't seen that since almost college, Chinatown. So that would have been 2007. Yeah, I need to rewatch that. I'm sorry, I don't recall it, man. But thanks for the question. Steve-O, Rob K says he likes Steve-O more than Bam. Listen, I like Bam. Nowadays he's a little bit crazy and off the rails. Steve-O got his life together and Bam got a little bit more crazy. Odd how they just. But Steve-O actually has a podcast you can listen to on Spotify or watch it on YouTube, and it's a really good podcast. He's done some really good interviews with people, and I'm surprised how much I enjoy it. Hey guys, it's Steve-O. My Corey Feldman and my Steve-O impression sound identical. Chinatown has a great but disturbing ending. Yeah, I remember it being like disturbing, but I don't recall what happens. Amaray M, The Thing, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill 1 and 2. Okay, good stuff, man. Definitely in a Tarantino mood, I can see. Yeah. I watched Pulp Fiction just maybe like a month ago, and then I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood right after it. Watchtower Studios. Hey, John, I think you missed some of my questions higher up. Okay, let me find your questions here. And I'm going to do my best to find them. I thought I answered everything that you asked. Here we go. Okay. No, I answered that. Where the hell are your questions at, man? I'm looking for your questions, Watchtower Studios, and they're hiding deep down in the bowels somewhere. Dude, are you sure? Because I'm not seeing them on here. Watchtower Studios. They did not pop up. But what I'll do is I'll dig down and find them, and I'll screenshot them, and I'll answer them on the next Q&A for you if I find them. Jay Valenzola, have you watched the TV show Wilford? No, I have not. Jay. Not watched it. I don't think I've heard about it until now. Until you just told me. Yeah, once you watch one Tarantino movie, you got to watch all of them. So I think it's from another person, John. Yeah, I don't. Well, who is it from? I don't see them. Okay, any questions I miss, I will screenshot them and include them in the next Q&A. Frank Bono, that's a cool name. Late to the party, but did you see Katana's fan in one of the shots and Noob comes in at the end? I heard rumors of Noob Sabat being in the movie. I guess, did he show up? I guess I missed that. And someone mentioned earlier about her katana blade or whatever fan being in there. So yeah, that's cool. I think there's going to be a lot of things that pop up that we don't know about, which is good, like surprises. Leighton, I've never loved Pulp Fiction. Am I crazy? Well, maybe a little bit. I don't think it's for everyone, but I guess you'd have to tell me what you didn't love about it. I love it. It's one of the, I remember seeing it as a kid on HBO with my family, and then like I just have enjoyed it the older I've gotten every year. I mean, I just love the conversations between Vincent Vega and Jules in that movie. But they're just talking about things and they go to murder people. It's just, I love things like that. All right, let me make this the last question, please, guys. No more questions because I don't want to miss them. Watchtower Studios. That's cool. By the way, when is the new Flick Trip? Okay, man. Yeah, if you asked something earlier, I'll dig in and find it. The new Flick Trip, I have it. I need to. There's one last thing I need to tack on at the very end of it, and then edit it together. So what's today? Maybe I'll put it up this weekend. That sounds good. I don't know which channel to put it on. Probably the Flick Pick channel. I'll probably put it there because I feel like I need to give the one last look at family video over. I think you guys will enjoy it. And I crashed my drone for the video, so that sucked. Alto Villaye. And by the way, if you guys, what I'll do with the Flick Trip is I'll probably give an early sneak peek to people to YouTube members and Patreon supporters. Hans Zimmer or John Williams. Listen, John Williams makes scores that you can hum to, and he makes some great fun. Like John Williams is iconic, but for me personally, I'm a Zimmer guy. Like when I want to feel like on the edge in a thrilling, awesome, epic sequence, I love Zimmer. Like if I'm going to listen to like a score in the gym, it's going to be by Zimmer. Like the Gladiator score, the Dark Knight trilogy score. I love the score to Broken Arrow. I mean, shit, the man can almost do no wrong. I mean, the best thing about the Amazing Spider-Man 2 was Hans Zimmer's score. So I like if I was going to make a movie, I'd probably use Zimmer as a composer. Claudia Rogajon. Was Tom Cruise crying at the end of Magnolia? Was Tom Cruise crying at the end of Magnolia bad? I vaguely remember Magnolia. I've seen the movie once. I didn't love the movie. I just remember it rains frogs at one point. And I remember Tom Cruise doing his info commercials about being like a sex guide therapist guy or whatever. Like if you want to get your muffin wet and whatever, that was great. But I don't remember him crying. I really don't. I just remember that movie was super long. That's what I remember. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to end it there. So please, no more questions. I don't want to miss it. I'm going to wrap up the live show there. This went a lot longer than I thought it would. But as always, guys, if you could, before you go, if you want to, if you enjoyed the live stream, give it a thumbs up. It does help the YouTube algorithm. That way you guys can see my stupid face and the thumbnails pop up in your sub box. It does help. So if you can give the video a thumbs up, much appreciated. But as always, guys, stay safe. Have a good week. And thank you so much for watching, commenting, and just hanging out with me for a little bit. I'm going to go eat some Chick-fil-A because that sounds really good right now. And I think I'm going to watch Sicario. I just feel like watching Sicario right now. Yeah. As always, guys, stay safe. And as a wise man once said, finish him. And I will finish this live stream now. Take care. Stay safe. Bye.